So anyway, welcome to Live Action Scripture, our game we haven't played in a while. We're going to start building from the last campaigns that we've had. And we've been doing this for many years, even more than we've taped them. But here we have Elder Miguel and Vice Pastor Sabrina. And Vice Pastor Sabrina played for a long time a dragon who's been asleep for a couple years after a big fight with her enemy. We're going to meet her enemy later on. And then Miguel played Melchizedek, the great hero of the Bible, who has been a Buddhist as well as a pagan, as well as a person of Allah, all at the same time. And it's been really great. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Would anybody like to maybe Miguel, if you'd like to, do a little recap of what you remember, and I can fill in details too, because I've recently looked at the episodes in case you're shaky, because it's been about a year since you played. So
it's been about a year. God, it's also hazy. I know that.
Remember the motorcycle thing you did?
I played. Huh?
You remember the motorcycle thing you did at the last episode you played? You said you come in deep. You remember that?
No.
To defeat the source, who is that maniacal cult leader.
Yes. So I remember. Here's what I kind of again vaguely remember.
Yeah.
There was a breakthrough, right? So I revealed to the group that I was with that we were gods.
Right.
They were being completely enslaved by the source, right? And that they had bodies outside of this reality, right? So that I remember. I remember then there was a battle,
right,
that occurred. What can you recap that battle?
Do you want to put your pictures up for a second?
Yeah.
Turn your cameras on.
Yeah.
Sabrina, can you turn your camera on? I just want to get everybody's picture. Okay. I think what happens is, and you have to stay that way, but you could go back to having pause if you want to, like, the face off. But the main thing.
And I'm gonna walk my dogs while I listen to you guys talk.
Okay, sounds good. The main thing you did was you battled the source. The source is, how would you describe the source, Miguel? Because you've seen him a couple different times. You saw him in the first episode giving a speech, and everybody was really tortured by his speech.
The source is like this evil, manipulative power that feeds off of the gods who are in this world, right? And he's manipulating them into believing in kind of like the reality that they're in, but also kind of the lifestyle or the values of the source. Right, as well, and then please fill in more.
Well, no, one of the things that happened was you eventually came together. You did the game. Do you remember the game you did with your friends who were like the artists in the lost space? Mm-hmm. How would you describe the game? And remember its connection. The ultimate idea is you're going into this world, which is an illusion, because everybody in the world, at least a lot of people, maybe all of them, seem to be gods that are trapped in sarcophaguses and like a forced sleep by our enemy Harm-Knee-Far, who is controlling the red dragon in the apocalypse to keep Asherah, the goddess, away from Allah, the god. So our point originally, way back a couple years ago, was to bring those two together. So in the meantime, you bumped into a world, a city, Ai, which is the name of the city, which is in Joshua 7 and 8, by the way, which you might visit sometime, even today maybe. But the city of Ai happens to be run by AI, and many people are in a cult. And the cult seems to be, if you need to get a job doing anything, you have to kind of go in this cult. Even corporate different corporate groups will rent out this cult to do their corporate meetings and make sure that they do the things that the cult thinks they should do. And so they're very in power all over the place. And yet the leader is a really old man. He's how would you describe him when he was talking to the crowd? What would you say he was like?
The old man was just very overbearing.
Yeah.
He, again, manipulation was the kind of thing that stands out to me. But also he did things I remember you mentioning the chairs were positioned in such a weird way that people were very uncomfortable. So there was, I don't know, he's feeding off of this kind of this comfort. It seems like he is psychically feeding off of negativity.
Interesting. I would say that's accurate. Yeah, and it's cool that you connected those dots because we didn't exactly explore that in the games, but you've made that correct conclusion. Remember, there's the landfill, and what is the landfill made out of? What did you learn about the landfill? The big pollution that most of the planet is.
Okay, hold on. Landfill. Jesus.
Those are
I do remember that. We made a stop at the landfill.
Right.
I'm not recalling, though, what we found.
Penn went several episodes into the landfill and found out the secret of what's going on. And I wish he was here so he could fill it in, but he's not here today. Brother Gail is busy with a lot of things. He's a lot of theater stuff. He's doing a lot of things. So we'll hope that we'll see him soon. But he had several episodes where he went into the worlds of the landfill along with Cassandra and Tobit, who you met, and then they followed him. There was a factory they found where they were putting the landfill poisons into all the food products and drinks and beer of AI. And then they went further in, and there was a little suburb that was like a domed city within the landfill. It was very pretty in there, it's called Twiglawn. It was a little shitty suburb. And it's where rich people would live. And the kids who are actually cousins to Cassandra, they're other rich kids, other Stanko family children, they don't have any money, so what they do is they hang around mental institutions. There's one in Twiglawn, and they bother the people in the mental institution. They harrow their minds, and they all kind of get off on that, and they all become smaller and smaller and more infantile as they drink the pain of other people. They destroyed that place and moved on to something else. And there's a bunch of other episodes that happened. Then eventually Penn went into his own mind, and then it became Exaltia. And then these adventurers, Isabella, Cassandra, and Tobit, went into his world with him, and they did a bunch of adventures too, which was all really interesting. But it ended up kicking Penn back into Chicago. So he's somewhere in Chicago right now.
Wow.
Yeah, he got kicked out. And they were right outside, right in the crypt where you were from, where the Ark of the Covenant was, where that box of God was, and then they got zapped away from it. So whatever's happened, we'll start this game up. There's been an attempt to take that Ark, and while you've been also in AI trying to get people together, you would let everyone away. You would push them into another dimension where they're all free. The source had run away. His minions had run away. His helpers had run away. All the people were free. And you started seeing that there were all the different gods, like even Dagon and Baal and all these other gods. And they all made friends with each other, and you freed them. As you found out that you were El. You were playing El within this. Even though you're a human, your God, of all these gods, they all have different gods and goddesses, but your God is actually the God that is sending you along. So that is cool, and I will wait. I'm going to pause it right now. You were on the sandy beach that was at the beginning and end of the universe. You had come to that during your game. You played with them in one of the episodes where you led the chants and got them all to discover their Buddha natures. So there were all gods being free, but then they discovered their Buddha natures in addition to being gods and free, and they started all becoming really, really free. And then the source disappeared. He tried to put the whole world in his book, but you stopped him from doing that by sheer force of will. You and your servants with the motorcycles into his little lecture hall and zoomed away and destroyed his power. Now he's gone somewhere, but as you were on the beach, you saw a tree, and it was the tree of life, and you're all hovering around that. If you watch the episodes that have to do with Jeff's character, Saint Marta, has been whisked away by Harm-Knee-Far and put somehow in this, or actually by the tree to save from Harm-Knee-Far. It was the great tree of life, which Saint Marta's character has always had a relationship with. And that is also trapped in one of the sarcophaguses. So you are outside along with all your free friends, and they start to sense it, but they have not broken free. They did get to see what you guys did, and they started having ability to travel around within their sphere. But so far, Jeff and Aurelia and Ranzaray, the Neanderthal shaman, and they're trying to wake up Sophia, who is related to them, who's the Sophia Wisdom, and then the tree and St. Marta. Those are the only people there. They're just sitting around playing music in a time loop. But they finally broke out of the time loop in one of the last episodes we played about 10, 11 months ago. So that being the case, they are right now free, but they're still in the circle. If we can't get to Jeff,
they're
Jeff
still in their sarcophagi.
Well,
yes.
They're in a sphere more than a sarcophagus, to be very fair. They're kind of like a snow globe with a tree in it. They're kind of like a round little tree, and the tree is the tree of life. If it broke out of it,
are their bodies still in
their little world, right? And you're circling around that world, but you have not gone into that world. That's where we've been stuck. Now that the dragon is there, I suggest perhaps you make a point of communicating with the dragon, and then when the dragon is able to, you can interact with, the mission, and I'll inform you of what's next. I'm going to pause it now for people to come back.
Yeah.
The green dragon, go ahead.
Remember we had like a discussion with her.
Where?
I don't know if this plays into this, or how the green dragon is kind of where is the green dragon at in this world right now?
Now she's been asleep because she had a really big battle back in the days when we were recording it on a scroll from about 2022 to now. In the game so far is the name of the sub-channel in the Holy Rollers Dice Club Discord, the church Discord. She fought a battle with Harm-Knee-Far, and Harm-Knee-Far, she was flying up into this place you're at, this sky cloud palace, and then she got frozen in the cloud and got struck by lightning and forced to go back. And she actually could not do the mission she wanted to destroy Harm-Knee-Far. And that's the last thing. She's been sleeping for a couple of years because it was a really bad battle. But now she's going to wake up. At your convenience, if it's all right, I think we should just play this game. And Miguel can play till 7:30, so we'll end there. Who's all for it? Are you ready back, comrade?
I think I'm ready. I just want to...
Give me a couple more minutes because I'm walking my last dog right now.
Okay, hang on. I'm just gonna pause this, and we're gonna pause it. All right, good. The first thing is we're gonna go to Sabrina, the green dragon. What was you had a battle with Harm-Knee-Far. You were fighting in the clouds, and the clouds kind of froze you. Very, very few things can stop you, but the power of the Sky Palace that Harm-Knee-Far has seemed to make it hard for you to get all the way into it. Now, Miguel character, Melchizedek, Gail's character, Penn, have gone into this world. Jeff's character is stuck in a different world, and for the moment, he's not accessible. So I say that we just, who would like to start? Would it like to be Miguel saying something first, or Sabrina saying something first? Because either way, I've got something to say. Okay, who would like to start? I'm going to start you, Sabrina, with you like half asleep, and you see the crystal ball, and it's showing you lots of visions of different things you've seen. You haven't seen, but the people that you sent into the place had seen. And you see a vision of Melchizedek with a bunch of people, and you see that they're all kind of godlike, and they're sitting on a beach, and they're kind of dancing, not dancing, but they're hanging around the tree that's in a sphere. And you also see Harm-Knee-Far, the evil Neanderthal shaman power priestess, she has the vision of Revelation 12. Harm-Knee-Far has control of the green dragon, which is attacking the woman. The woman is Asherah, also known as Hera, also known as Atabe, Kalkin, like a lot of different names for the mother of reality, the Mother Earth. She is being tortured. She is being kept imprisoned by a dragon, a red dragon of the apocalypse floating around her, straight out of the book of Revelation. But that chapter is being kept away from everything else by the power of the codex, the power of the book, which you guys have too, but definitely Harmony has some power over, and so did the source. If you remember, Melchizedek's character had to fight against the source, putting everything in the universe, including him, into a book, but you knocked it out of his hands or however you did it, and then he wouldn't put himself in the book and disappeared. So wherever the source is now, he's traveling. We also know that, to some extent, Jeff's character has a book that can help her travel the worlds, but she's only realizing it recently. So, Miguel, what would you like to do?
I would like to, is there a way to check in, on the Ark of the Covenant?
Sure. You know what? Let me do this. Hang on a minute.
I have completely lost myself in this world, and I actually need to check in with the Ark of the Covenant.
You feel like the need to blow the horn. Do you blow the horn?
Yes.
The horn puts you in touch with Allah, with El, with God. What would you like to say unto Allah?
I would like to say, oh Lord, where are you? I just need to know that all things are well back where the sarcophagi are. Right, because that's where the Ark of the Covenant is right now.
Which is
the sarcophagi.
Which is where the crypt was, where the sarcophagi was. All the people sleeping and dreaming of another world that you went into, the city of AI.
Yeah.
You are now in a different place than the city of AI or the crypt. You're in this kind of place in the middle of nowhere, and everywhere. You hear from Allah. Not so much a locution directly, but you have a vision of the Ark of the Covenant and the cherubim and the seraphim that are protecting it. They rise up above this whole mess, and there's lightning being struck. It's shooting out lightning out from it to fight against lightning that's being struck against it. So there's all kinds of lightning firing at each other. And you see an evil, evil lady in the back. And it is the evil lady that has stolen so much from all of us, Sabrina's family specifically, and also all of us directly, a person who used to be our comrade, who ripped us off and betrayed us, a person who's not named Harmony, but we think of her when we say Harmony. symbolic of all the kind of parasitical, bad actors in the world.
That enemy been around for comrade, the enemy been around for about 10 years.
Yes. And now she has taken your babies and put them in a prison far away. At the same time, they're trying to take away the Ark of the Covenant. And now that you wake up, Dragon, and now that you, Miguel, are up, you may not be aware of each other, but perhaps if you want to, I'm going to roll the dice for both of you, see if either of you, let's see, I'm going to say this. Miguel, you got a 2, but, no, I'm sorry, Sabrina, you got a 2, so you're almost falling asleep again. Miguel got a 20, you got a natural 20 on the roll. So what would you like to do to foster communication any kind of way, whether between you and the dragon, or would they be with anybody else? Allah?
I think that Harm-Knee-Far, despite the fact, and the source, despite the fact that we have won some battles, I'm going to need an ally, especially that the Ark of the Covenant is in danger. So I'm going to, I don't know how, psychically wake up the green dragon? Or in a dream, I don't know.
You do mental telepathy?
Yeah, maybe through a dream communicate with green dragon?
Yes.
However it works.
How do you want it? However you want to do it.
Okay. Green dragon. Green dragon.
What do you want?
Green dragon. We need to be allies right now. We need to defeat Harm-Knee-Far and the source. Is this something that you can do? Is this something, let's set aside our differences right now. We have a common enemy.
It's something I can do.
What would you want to roll for anything, Sabrina? Or you want to roll to test what?
Yeah, we can roll.
What would you like to roll for, Fred?
If I help them.
Oh, it's up to you to decide. I mean, you could roll to see for, I mean, I think really it would just be to strengthen you to decide. You decide. You don't have to do that on a roll. Like, do you want to help her or not? Or do you want him to?
Yeah, I want to help.
Well, you see your own family being taken away, as Harm-Knee-Far years ago had taken away your village years ago of the dragons in the canyon and destroyed all the baby dragons and tried to destroy you. That lady seems to have control not only from Satan's power, but also from Mara, who is the spider being that makes everybody stay in the pain of endless living and endless dying. She seems to have a communication with that. Next week, I'll have some scripture from our scripture, the 7th Codex, the 7th book, that I have to find the right scene, but I'll read just maybe a couple of lines from that section to get you to understand where her power is coming from. It'll be a vision you get next week. But okay, now Sabrina, now you're the great dragon. Maybe you guys communicate what you want to do.
Okay, well, we have to go back, Green Dragon. We have to go back to the place, the tomb, where all the gods are lying right now. And this is where we will find our enemy.
Are we gonna travel together? How are we gonna get there? Because I can fly, I can get there.
Well, just so you know, he's like in the center of the world, and you're like in the world that we left when we had this adventure a couple years ago. You're still in kind of a biblical world. You're like on the highest mountain in the world, and you can fly out of that mountain and fly into basically the last time you tried to attack the Sky City, you were repelled. He's calling you from somewhere in the Sky City, it seems. At least it looks like to you. And on the very far side of it, there is Harm-Knee-Far destroying the goddess, destroying your family, and enslaving the satanic red dragon as like a minion for herself. There's also that source. Now, where he's in this, he might be an ally to Harm-Knee-Far, or he might be on his own.
I think he's on his own and he's doing it for his own reasons.
Well, first of all, I'm just going to do this. We're gonna roll a different one. I'm going to roll, you got a light blue, Comrade's got gray, and then the darker blue is going to be the Harm-Knee-Far. We're going to roll these three. Everyone's opposing each other. Oh, look at that. Harm-Knee-Far got a 1. She fucking drops the Ark of the Covenant, which is amazing. You have 16.
Oh, that's great.
You have a 6. I'm sorry. You've got an 18, comrade, and Green Dragon, you got a 15. So let me do this.
Well, I'd like to leave the world that I'm in and go back to the tomb.
Okay. Because you are right there with God, he brings you right back to the tomb.
Okay. Thank you, Lord L. And we're back. Okay, so Harmony fight. So then what about Green Dragon?
The Green Dragon is still outside of the city you are now in. So it's kind of up to the Green Dragon and you to coordinate what you want to do. Last time the Green Dragon attacked, she slept for 2 years, so how badly they screwed her up. You went directly on a staircase that was sent to you by whoever it was sent to you. You don't even know yet. But that's how you all got up there. But the dragon didn't have that, so the dragon tried to attack just by flying and was repelled. So you are in the You are now in the sarcophagus with the tombs. You are the tomb with the sarcophaguses, and it seems that there's a person standing there. Actually, there's 3 people standing there: Tobit, Cassandra, and someone you don't know. Oh, you're back,
Tobit. Sandra, who is this other person accompanying you?
My name's Isabella. She's really nice. I've been through a lot of different.
Isabella.
Oh, absolutely. It's nice to see you. I don't know who you are, but I'm used to seeing people I don't know. She's a really nice friend.
I am. I'm sorry?
You're a very nice friend of ours.
Yes, my name is Melchizedek, but you can call me Mel.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we've seen you, Guy. Maybe worlds have gone by. We got left here by Penn. He zipped away. And we were standing here and we almost lost touch with reality, but here we are standing with this weird box.
This weird box is the Ark of the Covenant. It is where the Lord of the Universe, El, lies.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Where are the cherubim and seraphim?
They're kind of just quietly around. They're just floating around.
Do our friends notice the cherubim and seraphim?
Yeah, they're all kind of like been sitting here for, it appears to be maybe a couple of minutes or maybe a couple thousand years. They've been left in a timeless place by Penn, who seems to be back in Chicago.
Okay, Penn is back, and I know this.
Yes. Well, because they told you, they saw it happen. That last time there was an episode with Gail, these 3 characters got left behind with the Ark of the Covenant, and then Gail went into a different dimension.
Okay. Yeah, and then where is Harmony-Far?
She's on the far end of the universe, on the other side of the city that we're all in.
Okay. So we've secured the Ark of the Covenant. We have our friends together. The cherubim and seraphim are here. Oh, what about the servants?
Oh, they're with you.
Whatever happened?
Yeah, they're right. They're right there with you, friend. I didn't mention them, but they're all there.
Okay. I think it is time that we strike a fatal blow to our enemies. So here, hold on. Harmony-Far was grabbing the
Covenant, but then she lost control of it, and you guys had better control, and then Allah had control, and between all of you together, you got it back.
Okay. We need to ally ourselves with the Green Dragon, who has agreed to help us and set aside our differences. The only issue is getting her here. Once she is here, then we can all move forward to battle with the Green Dragon and possibly with the Source.
Well, as far as I'm concerned,
how do we get the Green Dragon over here?
Well,
I think maybe another staircase would help, or some kind of portal.
Well, we didn't control. They don't know anything about that because that's before they were in your world. They were somewhere in the script. All three of them have their sarcophagus, which is a nice way to think about it too. It's a very big place.
So here's another thing. Can we liberate them from their each of their sarcophagus?
That would be trippy. Do you want to liberate just them or everybody?
I would like to liberate everybody. Is everybody conscious?
They're all very unconscious.
Like in the other world, are they conscious?
Well, that's what the thing.
That they are God?
You had just liberated, not everybody, but you liberated a very large group, which I think by now there's a ripple effect, and a lot of AI is free. But it might still be stuck. You might want to go back to AI, and they might still be in their kind of matrixy illusion. It would depend on what happens.
I mean, I would like to liberate those who are at least conscious. I don't know what the effect of like just liberating people who are still stuck in the matrix. You know what I'm saying? Like they still believe in the matrix. I want to liberate those who are no longer disillusioned.
Right.
How possible is that?
How would you go about? Would you backtrack and remember the people you have on the beach because they're still on the beach and they might, come with you right now, or they might stay on the beach.
Oh yeah.
Or they might zip back to their own lives and forget. Like who knows?
Maybe communicate with the folks on the beach, and tell them that the final freeing. Well, I don't know about the final freeing, but another step would be to liberate them from their sarcophaguses.
That would be okay. Well, then let's see.
I don't know if I can blow a horn, some dramatic action, and then there's still the question of bringing Green Dragon here.
You find everyone on the beach, and also the tree itself seems to have reached out. And you see that Elder Jeff's character and Aurelia and Razare and possibly other people are all kind of free too, but they're kind of on the other side of narration. You can't really get to them right now.
Sure.
But basically, they're all like, well, some of your servants are among them, and Indiana says, "Well, we did a really good job, sir. What should we do now? I think we could get everybody to unite as gods. We could get as strong as we were before we were in this mess. Maybe we could all work together."
Yes, I would agree. And so that is the goal: is to really to the next step, right? And wake up the gods, have them be freed of their sarcophaguses, and then also unite with Green Dragon. Together, I think that we would be an unstoppable force against both Harm-Knee-Far and the Source.
Green Dragon, what do you say about it?
Was muted and I didn't realize my phone was muted.
No, it's okay. No, go ahead. What do you now? Your biggest problem right now is if you go up physically into the city, you will be stuck in this barrier of electric clouds that will ice you and freeze you. You don't want to do that again because you'll be destroyed. Not destroyed, but you'll be beaten down so bad you'll probably sleep for another 2 years. So now that you see that the enemy is on the other side of this big wheel, like a disc, like almost like from Ezekiel, a very big wheel in the sky. Melchizedek and his godlike friends are there in that wheel. Do you want to try to attack it physically again, or do you want to try to do something else?
I want to try to get in there without attacking first.
Without attacking or with attacking?
without attacking first. I want to be able to get in first before I attack.
Just so
Because
you
if
know,
I go in attacking, you know what I mean? I'm flying up. If I can't flying up, I got to figure out another way physically to get in. So
why don't you think about it right now if you want to? Or you can also
I was thinking about maybe teleporting myself.
Huh.
Maybe I can teleport myself, or maybe one of the gods can create me a portal so I can fly through.
This is an interesting idea. Go ahead, Frank.
Yes, we can definitely do that. How do we proceed with that?
Well,
you guys are communicating with me. You're communicating with me through telepathically. I can think, and we're trying to figure. I'm asking you how do you want me to proceed with coming in, and you're gonna talk to the gods and have them open a portal for me to fly through, and then we're gonna attack. Then we're gonna play, because it doesn't make sense to go in attacking if you can't get in. You know what I mean? Then you're letting them know that you're there, and we're trying to come at I'm thinking the element of surprise would be better than just coming in.
Right. Well, definitely. Okay, so let's do this. I asked all of the gods and the servants and the cherubim and the seraphim to concentrate, and we all chant together, and in the chanting we create a portal, and the green dragon can come through the portal and join us, and then we will plan our next step.
Okay, let's do that. Let's all chant right now, you and me. Anybody else wants to join us? MYOHO RENGE KYO.
MYOHO RENGE KYO. MYOHO RENGE KYO. MYOHO RENGE KYO.
MYOHO RENGE KYO. MYOHO RENGE KYO.
MYOHO RENGE KYO. MYOHO RENGE KYO. Okay.
We have, let's see. The dice have been rolled. You got 17. Sabrina's character got 12. And the bad guy got 5. Which means you're able to create a portal. So what you see, Sabrina, is, or dragon, is you see kind of what seems to be like almost like a staircase, but more like a slide. And it comes out of like a misty place in the middle of this wheel. And the slide comes down. And you see these little angels and things, and all they're doing is pointing. They're saying, go this way, go this way, go this way. Go up.
So I go that way.
Okay, you slide up and you're there. You are now in a large place. You see it's kind of like a beach, almost like an island. And you see, like, in the background, there are little shadows in the beach where there seems to be the crypt. Over in another horizon, there seems to be that city that they were in. And there's other places all around. You see, like, shimmering images, kind of like you're in the heaven, and all the earths of the world are kind of illusions to you because you can pass around through them. You start to realize, too, that you've gotten angelic powers, Miguel. And if you want, you can give them to your servants and your other friends who are gods, or they start to realize themselves. You become angelic, like a force of Valkyries almost, like that kind of level of powerful angel, seraphim, cherubim, that kind of thing. You're also a human being, and you're also partially El himself, as El's direct representative. So you basically have all that power together. Now you see that Harm-Knee-Far, from way above everybody, is still tormenting the Revelation 12 lady, the lady who's in chains and being beaten and being eaten by the dragon, which is the red dragon, your enemy. And I would just say this: it is now 6:51. We could start a battle now. But I'm going to tell you that as she fades away, she takes her scream with her into a book, and she shuts the book, shuts herself in the book. The book floats away, but you can still see the trail of it. Somewhere, the ship itself seems to tremor. It's like a lot of instability, like it's gonna fall out of the sky. But then everything fades again, and you're again on this beach, and above you is floating the dragon, which is, you're flying in a very nice place, dragon, and you are in the beach.
I'm flying over the water.
Yeah. The question is, how are you going to get to the dimension of Harm-Knee-Far? You can see that she set up a bunch of things, almost like a bunch of landmarks, into a wasteland, into a way far away place. And she's at the end of all these landmarks. And you have to find your way through these different landmarks, which seem to be kind of yeah.
We're going to all go through as everybody together. We're going to all fight everything together. That's why we're all going to combine together.
Well, I was thinking. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say. Well, go ahead. Say what you're going to say.
I'm done.
Go ahead.
So what I'm thinking is that the Ark of the Covenant turns into a gigantic ark.
Nice.
And then it's like our ship that holds everyone, including the green dragon. And this is how we proceed together in battle.
Lovely.
I like that. Because then I don't have to fly. I can relax.
That's right. You can relax. Save your strength, almighty green dragon, for the day and the nights and weeks of battle that we have ahead of us.
I'm going to relax until the days of battle. But once we go to battle, I'm going to be fierce and I'm going to take out Harm-Knee-Far. Just terrorized my family for too many years, and now it's time to call it an end for her.
And she's also terrorizing Asherah, and we're going to return her to El.
That's a great ending, friends. I think we should end it right here on the beginning of a new battle. Other people can join us, and we'll put them into a place. Let's get together next week. Would you want to do it?
Yeah, I would. I want to do it.
How about you,
Sabrina?
Yeah, we want to do it like right after church thing, like at 6 o'clock again, and we'll do it then?
Yeah, we can do it.
Yeah, that's the best time.
Okay, friend, perfect. I'm gonna stop it now. Is there anything you wanted to say at the end? Anything either person wants to say?
No, this is cool. I'm glad to be doing this again.
Me too, friend. You found a good way through, and I'm just gonna pause it now and put some music on at the end. So thanks everybody for joining Live Action Scripture. Stay tuned till next week. We'll be playing again.